teach everybody in the family to be brutally honest. It hurts sometimes, but it's always good to be honest to oneself and to others. Satya asteya, non-stealing of even simple ideas. If you take something from somebody, give credit. Brahmacharya, not running after sensual pleasures in life. And the last one we talked about is parigraha. Not collecting too much of stuff, not cluttering up your house or your mind or whatever with too much of anything. Okay, so that was the first step. And this is something that we have to follow throughout till we reach the absolute top level of yoga, which could be in this life or the next life. The next step is niyama. Niyam is one's conduct for oneself. Yeah, this is for yourself. So first thing is saucha, cleanliness. External cleanliness is also very important in a country like India, where it's so very hot. But internal cleanliness is also very, very important. And internal cleanliness can be both physical as well as otherwise mental and emotional. Physically in yoga we do so many practices which clean up your insides. So cleaning up your intestines, cleaning up your nasal passages, cleaning up everything. So we have a whole lot of kriyas which we do in yoga, which clean up the insides. See, cleaning up the insides physically, yeah? Cleaning up the inside physically, we have a tube, we have different catheters, yahan se dale, yahan se pani, yahan se pani dalo, idhar se aata hai, yahan se. So what happens, it cleanses up all this, so that when you're doing pranayama and other things, you get a clean nasal passage. Then we clean up the insides also, the intestine also. A catheter is put through the mouth into your stomach, and like a fountain, you drink a lot of water before that, so all that also comes out, with the impurities. We have many, many kriyas in yoga. Then there are the things of cleaning the nose, cleaning the intestine, cleaning the stomach, many things that can be done. Shankha Prakshalan cleanses up the entire intestinal thing, right from here to the bottom to the anus, it's all cleansed out. So there are many kriyas which clean up the inside also, physically. Mind you, ye to physical ka keh rahe hain. And that helps you, your health improves with that because it keeps a cleaner body. But health cannot improve unless your mind and emotions and everything is also cleaned up. This is only the superficial level. बहुत बार you find people are ill not because of some physical malady. It's because of so much of stress and so much of problems. They have backaches, they have other diseases. A lot of diseases can manifest themselves because of high stress levels. And in today's world, like I was saying in the beginning, a woman especially has to balance. Both men and women both have to do a lot of juggling around. Especially in a city like Bombay, because I live in town, I don't live in the suburbs, but I marvel at people जो सुबह से थाना से डोंबिवली से और कहीं कहीं से इतना लंबा they come in that crowded train, whether it's a man or a woman, it really doesn't make a difference. The only difference, a woman also has to juggle a house along with that, her home life, children, whatever, So all this leads to so much of stress, it manifests in a lot of diseases. And we can only do something not only by cleansing ourselves physically, but mentally and emotionally. So mentally also we need to look into it. We'll come to that in a minute. So this is physical cleanliness. Mentally and emotionally also we need to cleanse ourselves. And how do we go about it? The different ways of cleansing your mind. Different kinds of meditation are prescribed. You can look into your mind. One good thing is, one simple thing, 5 minutes every day. Devote to start off that way, looking in. Sit for 5 or 10 minutes or whatever in a room where there's nobody who can disturb you, in total solitude, and just watch your mind, watch your thoughts as they come. Along with that, whatever you do at all times, watch yourself. What we don't do is we're not in the habit of watching ourselves. I said something to somebody, I was angry. Later you feel bad about it. पर गुस्सा इतना जल्दी आ गया, मैं तो कह चुकी. Afterwards you can't retract your words, you can't take them back. It's already, वो तीर यहाँ से छूटा तो गया. It's already, that other person is घायल. Nothing you can do, can you? So fast thoughts and words flow, you can't stop them. But if you stop and think, you watch yourself, in the long run you could do something about it. Because next time गुस्सा आने शुरू जब हो जाता है ना, तो आपको पहले से ही समझता है, हाँ भाई I am getting angry. Count till 10, count till 20, say something, do whatever, visualize something, do whatever needs to be done. But don't utter anything, don't say something which will spoil your relation with that person for a long time to come. Because making amends also may be easy from your point of view, but the other person who's hurt may not find it easy to receive it. Both ways. Mind and emotions. Watch yourself, watch your mind, and watch your emotions also. What is it that's happening? Suddenly I'm khush hu, suddenly I'm angry. Why am I angry at this moment? Why am I happy at the moment? Something must have come up which has made me either happy or angry. And these things come from outside, from our environment. And we know they've come from out, and we need to watch ourselves. Somebody praises us. Meri tarif ki, I'm khush. Right? Somebody criticizes me, I'm very angry. Within no time, I become all red in the face and I say something. So I have to watch my emotions. What is it that triggers all these things? What is it that makes me happy or angry? And it's very easy for somebody to do that very often. Around us there are all kinds of people and there's nothing you can do about them. But you can do something about yourself. So the first thing was saucha, cleanliness, santosha, being satisfied with what you have in life. How many of us are satisfied? In economics they say, a man is a person who is never satisfied, and this is what a true economic man is. Only when you're not satisfied, that you look for something larger, that you walk towards it. Yes? So basically, most of us are never satisfied with what we have in life. We yearn for something more. You have something, you want a little more, and you have that and you want a little more. Like the classic example, you have a bicycle, a poor man doesn't even have a bicycle, he wants a bike. He gets a bike, he now wants a motorcycle. Then he wants a car. Then he wants something bigger, and life goes on. And you have a small jhopri, you want a bigger house, and you want a bigger house, and it goes on. So whatever you have in life, we are never satisfied. Santosha. So you have to try to be satisfied. Be satisfied personally. See, because these things affect your whole family. A woman's role is very important. If a woman yearns for what her neighbor has all the time, Onida used to have this beautiful ad with the devil, tempting you with whatever. So, owner's pride and your neighbor's envy kind of stuff. So, keeping up with the Joneses is something women have always wanted to do. Not that men are not guilty of it, but to a large extent women want to keep up with something, So, today even young children, school and college, mobiles. Oh, my friend has got a better one. And so they want something else. And so life goes on. We are always unsatisfied. Personally, as a family, whatever, and we're looking at somebody else, something else. They say the grass is always greener on the other side. Whatever we have is never good enough. Satisfaction. Learn to be satisfied with what you have. What is going to come to you will come to you. You don't really have to yearn for it. Saucha, santosha. The third one is tapa. Tapa. Tap means to burn. So whatever you do in life, in yoga, we say tap. Burn away all the dross in your life. Burn away all the mala, the kachra in your life. The mind, the body is full of impurities. Let's burn them away. How do you burn them away? By being a good person. By living a good life. You burn away the dross in life. When you heat something, what happens? All the stuff inside gets burnt up. So tapa. Burn away all the dross in your life. Let it burn so that the pure soul inside can shine through. What we say is, the soul is there within the body, and we all go in search of it. In later life, most people turn towards spirituality, they turn towards religion, and they want to discover where the soul is, and they want to have a better afterlife. But where is the soul? It is somewhere within. The only thing is we can't see it because it's covered by a lot of mala, a lot of dross, a lot of impurities. And we can reach it, and it will shine through only if we learn to burn away the impurities. So you have to learn to do it, and you have to learn to teach your family also, especially the youngsters. So we have Saucha, cleanliness. We talked about Santosha, being satisfied with what we have. Tapa, burning away the dross in your life. Yes? Then we have, Saucha, Santosha, Tapa, Swadhyaya, Swa-adhyaya. What is Swadhyaya? Swa. Swa is self, Adhyaya is lesson. Learn to know yourself. Learn to look at yourself. Look within. Learn to know yourself. Very often we find we don't even know ourselves. We don't even know our bodies. We feel we know ourselves. What is me? What is I? When somebody asks you, who are you? You'll say, I'm so and so, this is my name. I live in Bombay. I belong to this community. I went to this school. I went to this college or whatever. But is that you? What am I? Am I just all those bones and all those kind of things? What is it that I am made up of? We don't really know. We don't even know ourselves. We surprise ourselves more often than not by our responses to other people because we don't really know ourselves. Get to know yourself. Get to know your body. When you do your asanas, learn to know yourself. When you do other things, look at yourself mentally. Get to know yourself. Get to know your emotions. Only then will you really, really, slowly and surely, if you persevere, slowly get to know yourself. Swa-adhyaya, swadhyaya. And one way, like I was telling you, was throughout the day, 24/7, whatever you do, be alert, be aware. Yoga, another word for yoga means awareness. Be aware at all times as to what you are thinking, what are you doing, andar kya chal raha hai. That is what yoga is all about, awareness. So become aware, learn to know yourself, learn to know your responses, learn to know your mind. Look within. You can learn to look at yourself as you would look at a movie. It needs practice, doesn't come easily. So maybe when you have time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes of each day, just 10 minutes when you have nothing to do, maybe you can just shut your eyes and look within. Looking within. And the last one is Ishwar Pranidhan. Having total faith in Him. Now that's very easily said. But how many of us have real faith in, God? There are all those stories about, these Chinese sages and all that. I believe in God, so somebody would jump off a cliff, having total faith that He would, hold him. Can we do that? We're not even sure of, we pray to God every day, please God, give me this and give me that and whatever. But we are not even sure that He'll give us that. Because we go from mandir to mandir, we go to 10 different places, we do 10 different things when we want something desperately kuch chahiye. So what does at least a Hindu has so many gods to go to. He doesn't know which God to pray to. There are a whole lot of jokes, but jokes apart, what is it? There's a joke where, one fellow is praying to God and he calls one God and he calls another God and a third God and eventually he's the one who drowns. You know why? Because every God says, by the time he decided to come to help you, you were calling out to somebody else. So eventually the poor fellow drowns. So what happens is we do not really have faith in anything. Either God or ourselves. We can have faith in ourselves as well. You don't believe in God, believe in yourself. Your soul is within. Have full faith that if this is to be done, I will do it. I can do it and I shall do it. Have total faith. And only then will you be able to do it. But most of our lives, what we do? A lot of people are not successful in life because they don't have faith in themselves. We go out there and we say, oh no, I don't think it. Mere bas ke bahar hai. I cannot do it. So very often, anything in life, any tough project, anything, there's nothing in life that you and I can't do or we can't achieve. There is everything. But the only thing that stops us from achieving anything in life is our lack of confidence. It's ourselves.